April 12, 2026, at Red River Unitarian Universalist Church, the Reverend Dr. Mark Y.A. Davies spoke on the topic Reflections on Ibram X. Kendi's new book, Chain of Ideas, a look at the origins of authoritarianism as presented by critically acclaimed author Ibram X. Kendi of Howard University. Welcome from Red River Unitarian Universalist. Thank you for joining us. The religion we practice in this church is centered in the here and now, rather than the hereafter. It is more of a thinking kind of religion than a believing kind. It is governed more by reason than by tradition, more concerned with the present than the past. It is concerned with getting the most out of life, with living wisely and well. A major aim for us is continually expanding our understanding of life and ourselves. This church is a community of people who share in the free and open search for a level of understanding that will enable us to be more fully and effectively alive. The church does not tell us what we must believe. It stimulates us to think. It supports us in our search. You are welcome to join us. Our centering value is love, with transformation, generosity, equity, interdependence, justice, and pluralism.
Hear these words. This is a congregation that gathers in faith, not faith in one religion or one God or any one way. We gather in faith of the power of diversity, the power of love, and the hope of a world transformed by our care. We gather in faith in ourselves and those around us, not a faith that requires perfection or rightness in one another, rather a faith that in our shared imperfection we may learn to stumble and fall together. Faith that will help one another to rise and to try again and again. At this time we have an opportunity to light the candles of community that you'll find on the table to my right. You can light a candle for joy or a concern, or to remember someone, or simply to bring more light into our space.
Ebony and ivory live together in perfect harmony. Side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? We all know that people are the same wherever you go. There is good and bad in everyone. When we learn to live, we learn to give each other what we need to survive. Together alive, ebony and ivory live together in perfect harmony. Side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we?
Hear these words for our chalice lighting. We are capable in different ways with various strengths and talents. We are all holy, part of the universe and the interdependent web. We light this chalice, cherishing our differences and holding each other in sacredness. Let's join together in the spoken affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and freedom, and to help one another. We light this peace candle to remind us of all the places in the world where there is no peace. Join me in the words now on the screen. Lead me from death to life, from falsehood to truth. Lead me from despair to hope, from fear to trust. Lead me from hate to love, from war to peace. Let peace fill our hearts, our world, our universe. This time we'll have our UU snippet, the story of flower communion.
Nearly 100 years ago, the Unitarian minister Norbert Chopek offered his Czechoslovakian congregation a ritual to respond to their questions about how to be a community that welcomed rather than suppressed diversity. Czechoslovakia was a country formed in the aftermath of war, struggling just 5 years after the end of that war with questions of belonging and identity, trust and anxiety. Chopek's ritual took the traditional bread and wine communion that his community was too heretical for and too resistant to these usual symbols and played with this ritual. He turned instead to the beauty of nature all around them and invited each of his congregants to find a flower and bring it to the church one Sunday. That each person would find the flower that was beautiful to them was a symbol of their affirmation that each of us has a piece of the truth, our unique sense of what beauty means. On their way into the church, his congregation was in turn invited, each of them, to place that flower in a vase, which symbolized their free choice to enter into community alongside all the other people that saw beauty in their own way, symbolized by their flowers placed there as well. A free church where people freely choose to walk together across their differences. Once everyone had gathered, they'd bring the vase forward. Then the minister, Chopek, he would bless it. And then he'd invite everyone to choose a flower to take home with them, but just not the one that they came with. Again, this free choice affirmed each person's choice to be blessed by another and to receive with an open heart their different understandings of beauty and to feel connected rather than divided by this difference. In this moment where so many forces seek to divide people, to play on our fears of differences and our anxieties of the other, here we remember that we freely choose to walk together and to be blessed by the differences between us and to see these differences as beauty.
I know some of you are saying, what's he doing up here again? Well, normally Bruce would give this, but he overdid it in the yard, so I'm here today. And normally we'd be talking about how we still need you to give your money so that we can hit our pledge drive. Well, guess what? I'm not going to say that because we have in pledges right now $47,130. We're $130 over our limit. So big hand to everybody. I still have a few people outstanding that I'm hoping will pledge for us. So some of you may think, well, that's great. What happens next? So the finance team will get together, take whatever extra money we may have and spread all of that wealth of $130 where we feel it will do the most work. Some may go to worship, because worship can always use more money to bring in quality speakers like this gentleman here. It could go into advertising, if we could figure out how in the heck to advertise, or it could go into more outreach, existing programs, and maybe even some new programs. And what will happen is that budget will then go into the packet that we will be emailing out to everybody on May 4th for our congregational spring meeting on May 18th, and the members will get a chance to review, discuss, and vote and approve the budget. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm done.
Good news. Hooray.
What a difference a week makes. That's great. Our opening thought this morning comes from Ibram X. Kendi from his new book, Chain of Ideas. And just to let you know, I'll be offering a book discussion online beginning in May on this book. It's free and open to everyone, so be on the lookout for that if you'd like to join in. So all three of our readings today will be coming from the book Chain of Ideas by Ibram X. Kendi. He writes, political parties and politicians using great replacement theory to secure and maintain authoritarian power can be termed great replacement parties and great replacement politicians. Sometimes the great replacement financiers and theorists and politicians are one and the same, protecting their immense wealth, authoritarian power, and dominant status in the name of protecting everyday white people from the great replacement.
Ring with the harmonies
Our next reading is also from Chain of Ideas. Great replacement theory can be defined as a political theory that powerful elites are enabling peoples of color to steal the lives, livelihoods, cultures, electoral power, and freedoms of white people who now need authoritarian protection. The most extreme articulation of this theory of loss is genocide theory. As an example, white genocide theory imagines a political plot to bring on the genocide or extinction of white people. The Great Replacement is a genocide by substitution. Camus wrote, that's not Albert Camus, that's Renaud Camus, wrote, the supposed tools for this white genocide: open borders, immigrant invasions, transnational gangs, radical Islamic terrorism, vaccines, black or white murders, and Jewish cabals. Let's move in a different direction for a moment in our minds as we prepare for a time of meditation. Find a relaxing way for you to sit, perhaps both feet on the ground, or whatever is most comfortable for you. If you'd like to close your eyes and begin by taking some deep breaths, breathing in and out. In and out. Keep breathing. Let us take this time together to be open to forgiveness and be forgiven. Let us be open to diversity and be accepted. Let us be open to expression and be understood. Let us be open to compassion and be loved. Let us be open to awareness and be known. Let us be open to sharing, to exchange, to possibility, to awakening, and be hopeful. Let us be open to gratitude and be blessed. Our next reading, also from Chain of Ideas. Great replacement theory is not only a racist and anti-Semitic idea. Like a virus, Renaud Camus' great replacement theory has mutated all over the world into sexist, ethnocentric, homophobic, transphobic, and especially Islamophobic variants. Appealing to men, ethnic majorities, heterosexual and cisgender people, and Jews and Christians, usually through a mythical Judeo-Christian construct. Great replacement theories warn that women, queer and trans people, ethnic minorities, and Muslims are coming to take their lives, livelihoods, cultures, electoral power, and freedom. Feminists purportedly dominating men in South Korea, transgender young people who comprise less than 0.002% of collegiate athletes, said to be taking over sports in the United States, Albanians supposedly boxing out Macedonians in North Macedonia, sub-Saharan black Africans apparently displacing brown Arabs in Tunisia, Muslims professedly terrorizing Hindus in India, Roma people apparently taking out non-Roma people in Central Europe, homosexuals allegedly grooming heterosexuals in Russia, even evil gangs ostensibly replacing the good people in El Salvador. Wherever there are lines between privileged and disadvantaged groups, between groups in the majority and the minority, new mutations of great replacement theory have seemed to arise.
You got to be taught to hate and fear. You got to be taught from year to year. It's got to be drummed in your dear little ear. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught to be afraid of people whose eyes are oddly made, and people whose skin is a different shade. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught before it's too late, before you are 6 or 7 or 8, to hate all the people your relatives hate. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be carefully taught.
I could tell that a number of you had heard of the name Ibram X. Kendi when I announced the readings, but perhaps some of you have not come across his work yet. He has been teaching for a number of years at Boston University, my alma mater for my PhD, and he is probably most well known up until now for his book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, which I teach that book in my social justice class at Oklahoma City University. If I were at Oklahoma University and tried to teach that book, I would be told by the governor that I can't teach that book because there are some professors at OU that have been trying to teach similar books, and they've been getting in trouble for doing so. But fortunately, I'm at Oklahoma City University, and up until now, I've been allowed to teach that book without any issues. He also is very well known for a book called Stamped from the Beginning, and then he just released this book, Chain of Ideas, which is looking at the origins of authoritarianism in this great replacement theory and the propaganda that comes along with great replacement theory. I would say very few people, if any persons, have a more comprehensive understanding of racism and its causes and implications than Ibram X. Kendi. I'm going to pause just for a moment. I'm getting some feedback, so just want to see if we can get that testing. Are we okay now? Perfect. So, in his book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, Kendi makes a clear and powerful distinction between being not racist and being anti-racist. It's a big difference. Being not racist is a passive and inactive stance, which actually ends up contributing to the continuation of systemic racism through its inaction. So being not racist is not enough. We need to also be anti-racist. In Kendi's book, Stamped from the Beginning, Kendi traces the formation of the concept of race and shows how it was used by Europeans to gain, maintain, and expand their economic and political power around the world by classifying those with black and brown skin as being less than fully human, and then objectifying them and enslaving them. This racism became so widespread and systemic in nature that the only way to overcome it is through active anti-racism. In Kendi's most recent book, The Chain of Ideas, he shows the deep connection between global racism and the rise of authoritarianism around the world, including here in the United States. The racist Great Replacement theory is being propagated around the world to frighten and mobilize persons within what's considered to be the majority race within a society to suppress the rights and well-being of those in the minority, or those who are in positions of less economic and political power within society. Great Replacement propaganda, as it is expressed in the context here in the United States, claims that black and brown people, non-English speakers, and non-Christians are all working together to replace white English-speaking Christians, and that this will ultimately end in a kind of white genocide. Sometimes this propaganda is stated very overtly, such as was the case with the white supremacists in Charlottesville a number of years ago, chanting, "You will not replace us." And sometimes it's more subtly expressed through slogans like "Make America Great Again." Maybe that's not so subtle. But the underlying message is the same. White Christian interests and power must be protected and expanded by diminishing the power of anyone else who is deemed as other. Donald Trump and his allies are clearly using great replacement propaganda to gain and maintain and expand their economic and political power. When they say our national blood is being tainted, when they say black and brown immigrants are rapists and murderers, but welcome with open arms white South Africans, and when they promote Christian nationalism and make claims that we are a Christian nation, they are using the great replacement propaganda playbook. This past week, we saw the Vice President of the United States travel to Hungary. He traveled there to actively support the re-election of Viktor Orban as the Prime Minister of Hungary, who has held power there for 16 years and has made great replacement theory the ideology of his government. Orban has effectively used the country's fear of non-white and non-Christian immigrants as a way to take greater and greater autocratic control over Hungary. Trump and his allies have long looked at Hungary as a blueprint for what they want to accomplish here in the United States. Today, against the electoral odds, owing to unfair gerrymandering practices in Hungary, the people of Hungary have an opportunity to vote Orban out of power on this very day in their national elections. Orban has become more and more unpopular in Hungary in recent years, as his autocratic regime has led to Hungary being one of the most corrupt and poor countries in the whole European Union. But Hungary is not the only place in Europe where we see this dynamic playing out. We see it in other places like France and Poland, somewhat in Germany and Italy and Austria, in the UK as well. In the UK, great replacement propaganda was a significant factor in leading to Brexit, a decision that has made the UK demonstrably weaker, both economically and diplomatically, in the world, a decision that many people in the UK regret that they made. And this points to the irony of the countries that are succumbing to great replacement propaganda. Great replacement approach actually does not end up helping the white Christian masses as it claims it will. It actually ends up making countries more poor and more corrupt, and ends up concentrating more and more economic and political power in the hands of the very few. In reality, the oligarchs of the world are using great replacement propaganda to play on the racism of the masses in order to attain even greater wealth and even greater power. In other words, the racist masses are being played by the wealthy and powerful as the racist masses time and time again vote against their own self-interests while being manipulated by their racism. Ibram X. Kendi points to a way out of this. He points to a way out of the growing authoritarianism that is fueled by great replacement theory and propaganda. He writes, "Only a universal recognition of the unbreakable chain of humanity can liberate us from the breakable chain of ideas." The breakable chain of ideas like the great replacement theory that are being used to divide and control us. Kendi sees reason for hope. He says, after writing Chain of Ideas, after writing literally the authoritarian playbook that's being used, he says, "I've become much more optimistic because now we can formulate a counter response. Now we can formulate precisely how we should and can resist." Hopefully, the election in Hungary today might make Kendi's hope even more realistic. I mentioned that the vice president went to Hungary to promote Orban. He also went to Germany last year in order to promote the right-wing party in Germany, as did Elon Musk as well. And Elon Musk has spent quite a bit of time in the UK promoting the Reform UK movement, which has been promoting the Great Replacement theory and propaganda in the UK. But hopefully the election today in Hungary will be a sign of realistic hope, because millions of persons are coming together in an attempt to expose the lie of Great Replacement propaganda there. It's an uphill battle. Hungary as a country has been gerrymandered so much that it'll be very difficult to remove Orban from power. But the polls in Hungary close in 7 minutes, if that clock is correct. What happens there today is connected to what is happening here. There's an unbreakable link in our common humanity, which can break the chain of ideas that seeks to divide and continue to control us. At this time, we have an opportunity for giving. You can give at the table, and there's also opportunities to give online.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today.
Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living
I'll expect the worship committee to work in George Harrison and Ringo Starr next time. Hear these words for our benediction from my friend John Lou Johnston. We shall overcome. When we can truly celebrate the diversity of contributions and talents offered by all people, we shall overcome hatred and prejudice and oppression. When we can truly extend our hands to one another in loving acceptance, we shall overcome the past that haunts us now. Living in peace and freedom, we shall overcome the wrongs that have happened and the debts left unpaid. Let us join together in that commitment to overcome. And now let us join together in extinguishing our chalices. Reading these words together. We extinguish these flames, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.